Hey guys, you are watching your anime world. How are you all? Please support to subscribe this channel for watching new interesting stories. So in this video, we will see what if Deku had a fire quirk and was trained by Endeavor. Here is short summary. Izuku Midoriya, known as the Golden Rookie, Endeavor's protege, the one who as a student has achieved incredible feats, the one who fought side by side with All Might. Today we will know his story. But before we start, if you want more stuff like this, then be sure to subscribe and like this video. And if possible share this video with your friends. Now let's start the story. Introducing Izuku Midoriya, Aldera Junior High School. Well, all of you are already third-year students. It is time for you to start thinking seriously about your future. The teacher told his students. Normally I would give you a career guidance questionnaire. But the truth is that all of you want to become heroes, right? The teacher said. Hell yeah, one student said. Do you doubt it, sensei? Another one said. Speaking of which, Midoriya, you're planning on entering UA, aren't you? The teacher asked. Silence fills the classroom. A boy with messy green hair raises his head to see his teacher. This boy is Izuku Midoriya. His appearance is the same as the canonical one, only this Izuku has an athletic build. Yeah, UA is the best hero school in Japan, so that is obviously the best option, Izuku said. Midoriya in UA, well, it makes sense, of all of us he has the best chance. Yes, but I heard that it has a low acceptance rate. Well, I took the simulation test and managed to pass it, so I have a chance to enter. Also, if I don't make it, there are other hero schools, Izuku said. I think it will be easy for you, you are the best of all of us. Yes, if anyone were to become the first Aldera student to enter UA, it would be you. Thanks for your support, Izuku said. You know that we all support you here, Izuku, the teacher said. Anyway, let's continue with classes. Blaze of Glory opening, song. Jujutsu Kaisen opening 1 Kaikai Kitan. In the darkness a flame begins to burn and then transforms into Izuku, who is sitting inside a train while sleeping. At that moment a small snake slithers between his legs. Uzu Muzu Hito no Nari, Hyosei Shinsho Jingai, Amananoke Midai Da. Inside an underground traffic tunnel, Renjiro is seen stretching his legs. The shot focuses on his face, which has a determined look. Kyoshin Tenkai Inochi Yadoshi, Auto wa Papera Pa na, Nakama Naki Ninjan. Looking at the horizon, leaning on a wall is Kaoruko. After looking for a while she stops leaning and starts walking. The shot focuses on her face, she is smiling. Yosaru Katai Fubudo na Jinsei. In a shopping center, Hana is going down the escalators. Seinu mo nai daiju hai nikiju ga. On top of a building is Daichi observing the city. Anshin Budo ni Batsu Kosei. Sitting in an armchair in his living room, Best Jeanist is reading a book. Todoru Kyoku Boku ni Ibasho. In a park, Sensoji is blowing on his glasses to clean them, then he puts them on and smiles. Nato Nai Kara. On top of a building at night is Endeavor, patrolling the city. Yumi no Hazama de Night Nide. The shot zooms in on Endeavor, who has a scowl on his face as the fire on his face moves violently. Donna Kao Serba Ika Wakaru Dakido Mata. We return to Izuku on the train. When it enters a tunnel, sitting in front of Izuku, a person appears with totally black clothes and a white mask staring at him. Kodit Kur Yo. The snake that is still moving between Izuku's feet suddenly pounces on Izuku's face, opening its jaws to attack. Izuku wakes up surprised and fire emerges from his body. Yami wo harit, Yami wo harit. Izuku runs on the falls and jumps to attack a villain. At the same time, Best Jeanist uses his quirk to trap said villain. Yuru no Tobari ga Oritera Ezu da. Endeavor, still on the roof of the building, attacks with a burst of fire which illuminates the dark sky. Itai Shite Mawaru. 2 hooded people, one carrying a large hammer in its arms, look forward. Kanjsen. 2 other hooded people are sitting around a table, behind them are several people with snake masks. Zaragoto Nato wa Hakisuit Ike 2. People walk through the streets calmly. When people pass by, another hooded person appears who extends its arm, revealing a mouth in the palm of its hand. Mata Tamanide. Kaoruko creates several bubbles. Mata Tamanide. Aoki trains with her steel baton. Dare yori mo Satoku urumaki ni yumareshi kono shoutai wo ima wa tada noroi. Hana runs while generating electricity in her hands. Daichi moves in the air using his jetpack. Emi smiles forward as Yukihiro adjusts his bandages. Sensoji creates 2 blasts in his hands. Yu starts growing. Renjiro is ready to fight while his fists are surrounded by fire. Izuku is in the park talking to a girl with white hair. Norwar at a boku no Mirai wo Suzu shite. A snake appears with its jaw open biting someone. The scene changes to the white-haired girl smiling. The shot zooms out revealing that she is accompanied by a boy with white and red hair. A white-haired boy is leaning behind a door. Endeavor appears again with a frown. Hashit Korant. Izuku is pushed by a gust of wind as fire surrounds him. Kanai Atami Daite wa. The scene changes and now Izuku is seen with his mother and younger sister. Sakai ga Mataru kono ishun wo. Izuku is now seen in his classroom with the rest of his classmates from UA Class 1A. Then everything goes dark and Izuku can be seen staring, with a frown, at the guy in the white mask. The guy draws a katana and attacks Izuku. Suddenly Izuku wakes up on the train confused, not noticing that a bit of fire on his shoulder goes out. Blaze of Glory. Izuku Midoriya's Fire Hero Chronicles. Classes have finished for the day and Izuku finishes putting away his things when several of his classmates approach him. Hey Midoriya. Do you want to come with us to the arcade? One of his classmates asked. You still owe us yesterday's rematch. I'm sorry but I have things to do today. What do you think about tomorrow? Izuku said. Sure. His classmate said. Izuku, would you like to go eat something with us? A girl asked him. I appreciate the offer, but as I said, I have some things to do. Izuku said. I see another time, I guess. The girl said. Sure. Izuku said to grab his backpack and leave the classroom. Izuku walks calmly in the streets, enjoying the day. It is not a very hot day, but it is not cold either. He stops at a crosswalk to wait for the traffic light to change, and then an older woman stops too. She is carrying several bags, probably her purchases. Do you need help with your bags, ma'am? Izuku asked. If it's not too much trouble, I would appreciate it if you could help me with the bags, the old lady said. Of course not. I'm here to help, Izuku said as he took the bags and, when the traffic light indicated that they could cross the street, he accompanied the woman to her house. Thank you, I'm glad to know that there are still young people like you these days, the woman said and then entered her house. Izuku waves at her. Izuku smiles and nods to himself. Without anything else to do he continues on his way home. Midoriya household. I'm home, Izuku said as he entered his house. Welcome home, Izuku. His mother, Inko Midoriya said with a smile. Inko is a slim woman. She, like Izuku, has large and circular eyes. Her hair and eyes are also green, but in a slightly darker shade than her son's. Her hair is straight and shoulder length, with a small and spiky ponytail at the back. Hi mom, Izuku said. How was your day? Pretty good, thanks for asking, Inko said. And how about yours? It was good. Some friends invited me to the arcade again, but I can't today, Izuku said, and some girls asked me to go eat with them. Wow Izuku, I didn't know you were such a Casanova, Inko said. Come on mom, it's not like that. I don't know what they see in me. I'm just a normal guy, Izuku said. That's what you say, Inko said. Anyway, I also helped an old lady with her shopping bags and escort her home, Izuku said. Inko smiles. That's my boy, she said proudly. The food is ready, can you go get her please? Sure, Izuku said to enter his house and stand in front of a door with a sign with the name, Izumi, on it. Izuku knocks on the door. Izumi. Mom says food is ready, come eat. A noise is heard on the other side of the door, as if several things were falling. After a few seconds the door opens revealing a girl with green hair. This girl is Izuku's younger sister, Izumi Midoriya. Izumi looks quite similar to her brother. They both have the same hairstyle and color, with Izumi's being slightly lighter than Izuku's. Izumi is currently 7 years old. You're back, Izumi said hugging her brother. You say it like I've been gone for a long time, Izuku said. Now let's eat, I'm hungry. Yes, Izumi said as she follows her brother. The family sits at the table and begins to eat. So, Izumi, tell me how was today, Izuku asked. It was good, some guys tried to bother me but Kachan scared them away, Izumi said. I'm glad the talk I had with Katsuki worked, Izuku said. I mean, it's not that he's super nice to me, but at least he doesn't bother me and protects me from others, Izumi said. Good, Izuku said as he remembers all the problems he had to deal with Katsuki. Katsuki Bakugo is the son of Inko's friend Mitsuki Bakugo, he is the same age as Izumi. At first Katsuki and Izumi were good friends, but everything changed when Katsuki obtained his quirk and Izumi was diagnosed as quirkless. Apparently Izumi's classmates started bullying her because of her situation, including Katsuki. When this reached Izuku's ears he intervened. The children tried to attack him, but he easily kicked everyone's ass. After that day Izuku talked to Katsuki, more like threatened him, and after that day Katsuki made sure that no one hurt or bullied Izumi. After finishing eating Izuku changes into his training clothes. I'll back in a moment, Izuku said. Be careful, okay, Inko said. Don't worry, I'll be, Izuku said. Oni-chan, Izumi said. Let me go with you. Izuku pats Izumi's head. I'm sorry Izumi, but not this time, Izuku said. The UA entrance exam is close and I need to train. Oh, Izumi said. Come on, don't be sad, in a few years you will also be in my position, Izuku said. Right, Izumi said. Izuku smiles and then leaves his house. Izuku arrives at Dagoba Beach. Lately this beach has seen a lot of people littering. Izuku has tried to keep it clean by picking up the trash, although he is only one person and the people littering increases. The good thing about this is that picking up trash helps you train in a quite peculiar way. However, today is not a physical training day. Izuku takes out his headphones, which are Endeavor themed, from his backpack and puts them on. After playing a song, Izuku closes his eyes and begins to breathe slowly, extending his arms. 2 fireballs appear between his hands. Izuku opens his eyes and throws the 2 fireballs at 2 pieces of trash, then jumps and throws 2 more. Izuku Midoriya, quirk, Inferno. Inferno allows the user to generate and manipulate flames from their body. Inferno is more powerful than normal fire quirks because the temperature of the flames generated is higher. While Inferno doesn't provide the user with immunity against fire, except for the fire generated by the quirk itself, it does give the user the power to tolerate high temperatures as well as greater resistance to fire, making it more difficult to cause fire burns to the user. After a few hours of training, Izuku sits down on a bench to drink some water. I'm already getting the hang of this, he thought. Izuku puts his things away so he can go home, but as soon as he starts to leave, a scene catches his attention. Sensoji, how many times do I have to tell you? A girl with white hair with several red streaks said to a boy. I'm not interested. Said girl wears the typical female school outfit and a glasses. The boy, now identified as Sensoji, is a large, bulky man, possessing defined muscles and wide shoulders. He has a sharp eyes and no eyebrows, a pointy nose, as well as a prominently large, square jaw. His hair has sideburns and short for the most part, except in the nape area, where his hair is a bit longer, and a pointy pompadour. Come on, don't be like that, Sensoji said. I'm going to become a hero, so you might as well go out with me. First of all, you haven't entered any hero school yet. Second, I'm still not interested. The girl said. So please, stop. Come on, you won't regret it, Sensoji said. Yes, listen to the boss, another of the guys said. Don't play hard to get, the third one said. I think that's enough, Izuku said. Huh, Sensoji said. Listen buddy, it's obvious the girl isn't interested, Izuku said. Rejection can hurt but it happens. Huh, do you think you are very brave? Sensoji said. I'll show you what happens when you go where you're not called. Sensoji please, the girl said. I'm sorry, but this guy needs to be taught some manners, Sensoji said. Yeah boss, show him his mistake. This will teach you to go where you are not called, Sensoji said as he tried to hit Izuku. A few seconds later, this is pathetic, Izuku said as he looks at Sensoji on the ground with a black eye. It only took one blow for Izuku to knock down Sensoji. Boss, are you okay? Bastard, Sensoji said while touching his black eye. Please, stop it, you are only humiliating yourself, Izuku said. You're lucky, I have other things to do, Sensoji said as he gets up from the ground. Let's go. Sensoji leaves, but his lackeys stay to try to intimidate Izuku. You're lucky the boss is someone busy. Yeah, pray the boss doesn't see you again. Izuku raises an eyebrow and feints to hit the two lackeys so that they cower and leave. Izuku shakes his head and then looks at the girl. Are you okay? He asked. Yeah, thank you, the girl said. Who are those guys? Izuku asked. They are classmates of mine. They are not bad people as such, it's just that the fact that they want to be heroes went to their heads, the girl said. I know what you're talking about. Some of my classmates used to be like them, but I managed to teach them a lesson in humility and now they are my friends, Izuku said. Anyway, I hadn't seen you before and I usually come here quite often. Are you from around here? Yes, I'm from Shizuoka, the girl said. Wow, what a coincidence. Me too, Izuku said. It's nice to meet someone from Shizuoka. Izuku offers the girl a handshake and she returns it with a smile. Same here, she said. I'm Fuyumi Todoroki by the way. Nice to meet you Fuyumi-chan, I'm Izuku Midoriya, Izuku said. Fuyumi blushes slightly. And nice to meet you, Fuyumi said while taking some bags. Thanks for the help. No need to thank, Izuku said. Do you need help with that? Well, I don't want to be a bother, Fuyumi said. I can handle it alone. It's not a bother, I'm happy to help people, Izuku said taking some of the bags that Fuyumi is carrying. So, where to? Thanks, Fuyumi said. I live near Musudafu. Oh, she lives near UA, Izuku thought. Lead the way. They both start their way. Along the way they both talk to get to know each other a little more. So Izuku-kun. Any plans for the future? Fuyumi asked. I'm trying to be a hero. I plan to enter UA, Izuku said. Oh yeah, Fuyumi said. For someone who wants to be a hero, you are not arrogant at all. Thanks, Izuku said. I guess my mother raised me well. I can see that, Fuyumi said. And what about you? Izuku asked. Any plans for the future? For my part, I plan to become an elementary school teacher, Fuyumi said. Although many of my classmates say that I should be a hero, although I think that is only because of my father. Your father? Izuku said. Wait, Todoroki, are you Endeavor's daughter? Yeah, Fuyumi said, although not with much enthusiasm. I see why people say that, Izuku said. But just because he is your father doesn't mean you have to be like him, right? Fuyumi is surprised by these words. Yeah, I think, she said. It's not like I could even if I wanted to. Dad was very clear about that. Izuku smiles at her. Everyone follows their own path. Izuku said. Your family doesn't have to define what you want to be. Fuyumi looks at Izuku and then smiles. Yes, you're right, she said. They both continue walking until they finally reach Fuyumi's house. We have arrived, thank you very much, Fuyumi said as Izuku hands her the bags. No problems, like I said, I'm happy to help, Izuku said. Fuyumi smiles and was about to say something else to Izuku but the sound of the door opening catches both of their attention. Fuyumi, why did it take you so long? At the door stands Endeavor, Japan's number 2 hero. Enji Todoroki, also known as Endeavor, is a tall, sturdily built man with a very muscular physique. He has short crimson hair, which he wears spiked up around his head, and sharp turquoise eyes. His beard and mustache appear to be made of fire, but when he voluntarily turns off the flames on his face, a slight amount of stubble shows around his jaw. Father, Fuyumi said. Endeavor ignores his daughter and instead his gaze falls on Izuku. Who are you? Well, Izuku tried to respond but Endeavor's look and attitude intimidated him a little. He helped me get away from some guys who were harassing me, Fuyumi quickly said. Then he offered to help me carry the shopping bags. Is that so? Endeavor said without taking his eyes off Izuku. After a few seconds Endeavor simply turns around and enters his house. Whatever. Get in the house, Fuyumi, he said. All right, Fuyumi said. Well, it was nice meeting you, Izuku. Yes. Oh, that's right, before I forget. Izuku said as he took out a notebook from his backpack, wrote something on a piece of paper and tore off a piece. It's my phone number. I mean, in case you want to talk or send me a message. Fuyumi takes the piece of paper that Izuku gave her. Thank you, Fuyumi said and then took Izuku's notebook and wrote her number on it. This is my number. Thanks. Well, I guess I should go now, Izuku said. It's nice to meet you. Yeah, same here, Fuyumi said. Izuku looks towards the door of the house. Endeavor continues to watch him. Of course it has been an honor to meet you, Endeavor, Izuku quickly said. I look up to you. And I'm training to become a hero like you. This makes Endeavor raise an eyebrow and then approach Izuku. A hero like me, he asked. Why? It's unusual to hear that. Everyone always wants to be like that idiot All Might. I'm not saying that I dislike All Might or anything like that. Please, it's All Might, Izuku said. But my quirk is quite similar to yours, so I took you as a role model. I mean, you are the hero with the most solved cases after all. Endeavor raises an eyebrow at this. You say your quirk is similar to mine. Tell me about it, Endeavor said. Well, my quirk is called Inferno. In essence it can do the same thing as yours, only the doctors say that my flames are hotter than normal flames, Izuku said. I see. Endeavor said. You look the same age as my daughter. I guess you're about 14 years old, right? Yeah, although in a few months I will be 15, Izuku said. What school do you plan to enter? Endeavor asked. Of course, Izuku said. I see. Endeavor said. That's all, you can go, and thank you for helping my daughter. I don't need you to thank me, sir, Izuku said. It has been an honor to meet you. Without further ado, Izuku leaves. Endeavor closes the door to his house and then looks at his daughter. Is he your friend? He asked. Yeah, Fuyumi said with some hesitation, not because she doesn't want to be friends with Izuku, that boy seems to be a good person, but because she is afraid of what her father will say. Endeavor thinks for a moment. Good, keep being his friend, Endeavor said and then left his stunned daughter. That boy's quirk is similar to mine and Fuyumi inherited her mother's quirk. Endeavor smiles. Now I have a new plan if Shoto fails. It has been several months since Izuku met Fuyumi, and therefore Endeavor, and now there is only 1 month left until the UA entrance exam. Izuku still remembers his sister's reaction when he told her that he met Endeavor. Flashback. You met Endeavor, Izumi said. Yes. Izuku said. That's great. You met the number 2 hero, Izumi said. And it seems that I will finally have a daughter-in-law, Inko said. Mother, please don't start, Izuku said. I only met Fuyumi-chan today. And you're already calling her by her first name, you're moving fast, Inko said. Why do I even try? Izuku said, knowing that the more he says, the more his mother will be able to tease him. Oni-chan, tell me you got his autograph, Izumi said. I kind of forgot, Izuku said. Having his girlfriend by his side he would obviously forget that, Inko said. At this point Izuku decided to ignore his mother's words. Sorry, the truth is Endeavor even more intimidating in person, Izuku said. Oh well, the next time you see him, don't forget it, Izumi said. I highly doubt I'll run into him again, but, okay. Flashback end. Izuku is training on Dagoba as usual. I think this will be enough for the entrance exam, Izuku thought as he turned off his music on his headphones and went to the bench where his backpack was. This beach will never stop being dirty. That's a shame. Izuku takes his backpack and is about to leave, but a voice stops him. I finally find you. Izuku looks at who said that, and to his surprise Endeavor is the one who spoke to him. Next to him is Fuyumi too. I wanted to talk to you. Endeavor. Blaze of Glory opening. Song. Jujutsu Kaisen opening 1 Kaikai Kitan. In the darkness a flame begins to burn and then transforms into Izuku, who is sitting inside a train while sleeping. At that moment a small snake slithers between his legs. Uzu muzu hito no nari, hyosei shinsho jingai, a mononoke midai da. Inside an underground traffic tunnel, Renjiro is seen stretching his legs. The shot focuses on his face, which has a determined look. Kyoshin Tenkai Inochi Yadoshi, Auto wa Papera pa na, Nakama Naki Ninjan. Looking at the horizon, leaning on a wall is Kaoruko. After looking for a while she stops leaning and starts walking. The shot focuses on her face, she is smiling. Yosaru Katai Fubudo na Jinsei. In a shopping center, Hana is going down the escalators. Seinu mo nai daiju hai nikiju ga. On top of a building is Daichi observing the city. Anshin Budo ni Batsu Kosei. Sitting in an armchair in his living room, Best Jeanist is reading a book. Todoru Kyoku Boku ni Ibasho. In a park, Sensoji is blowing on his glasses to clean them, then he puts them on and smiles. Nado nai Kara. On top of a building at night is Endeavor, patrolling the city. Yumi no Hazama de Night Nide. The shot zooms in on Endeavor, who has a scowl on his face as the fire on his face moves violently. Donna Kao Serba I ka Wakaru Dekido Mata. We return to Izuku on the train. When it enters a tunnel, sitting in front of Izuku, a person appears with totally black clothes and a white mask staring at him. Kodit Kur Yo. The snake that is still moving between Izuku's feet suddenly pounces on Izuku's face, opening its jaws to attack. Izuku wakes up surprised and fire emerges from his body. Yami wo harit Yami wo harit. Izuku runs on the falls and jumps to attack a villain. At the same time, Best Jeanist uses his quirk to trap said villain. Yuru no Tobari ga Oratera Ezu da. Endeavor, still on the roof of the building, attacks with a burst of fire which illuminates the dark sky. Itai Shite Mawaru. Two hooded people, one carrying a large hammer in its arms, look forward. Kanjsen. Two other hooded people are sitting around a table. Behind them are several people with snake masks. Zaragoto Nado wa Hakisuit Ike. People walk through the streets calmly. When people pass by, another hooded person appears who extends its arm, revealing a mouth in the palm of its hand. Mata Tamanide. Kaoruko creates several bubbles. Mata Tamanide. Aoki trains with her steel baton. Dare Yori mo Sadoku Urumaki ni Yumareshi kono Shoudai wo ima wa tada noroi. Hana runs while generating electricity in her hands. Daichi moves in the air using his jetpack. Emi smiles forward as Yukihiro adjusts his bandages. Sensoji creates two blasts in his hands. Yu starts growing. Renjiro is ready to fight while his fists are surrounded by fire. Izuku is in the park talking to a girl with white hair. Norwar at a Boku no Mirai wo Suzu Shite. A snake appears with its jaw open, biting someone. The scene changes to the white-haired girl smiling. The shot zooms out, revealing that she is accompanied by a boy with white and red hair. A white-haired boy is leaning behind a door. Endeavor appears again with a frown. Hashit Korand. Izuku is pushed by a gust of wind as fire surrounds him. Kanai Atami Daite wa. The scene changes and now Izuku is seen with his mother and younger sister. Sakai ga Mataru kono Ishun wo. Izuku is now seen in his classroom with the rest of his classmates from UA Class 1A. Then everything goes dark and Izuku can be seen staring, with a frown, at the guy in the white mask. The guy draws a katana and attacks Izuku. Suddenly Izuku wakes up on the train confused, not noticing that a bit of fire on his shoulder goes out. Blaze of Glory. Izuku Midoriya's Fire Hero Chronicles. Endeavor. Izuku said. What is someone like you doing here? Like I said, I want to talk to you. Endeavor said. Hi Izuku. Fuyumi said. Fuyumi-chan. Izuku said and then smiled. Hi. You told me that you want to be a hero like me, didn't you? Endeavor asked. Why yes sir. Izuku said. You said your quirk, Inferno, is similar to mine, only the flames are hotter, right? Endeavor asked. That's what the doctor said, that my flames are naturally hotter than normal ones, Izuku said. Endeavor stops to think for a moment. Show me your skills. What? Izuku said. What you heard. I want you to show me your skills. Endeavor said as he takes off his jacket, leaving him in his white tank top. I want to see what you're capable of and, if you impress me, I might help you train. Are you sure about this? Izuku asked. Yes. Endeavor at the moment of lighting his fire. Izuku swallows nervously and nods. Okay, Izuku lets Fuyumi take his backpack and he stands in front of Endeavor, both on the beach in the middle of several broken appliances. One more thing, Endeavor said and then smiled. Don't hold back. Izuku gets serious and sets his arms on fire. If I must impress you, holding back is not an option, he said before attacking Endeavor. Izuku attacks Endeavor with a burst of fire but he easily destroys it by hitting it with his fire fist. The power is good and this fire is definitely hotter than mine, Endeavor thought. Izuku takes advantage of the smoke generated by the impact to approach Endeavor and try to hit him with a fire punch. However, Endeavor catches his fist easily and hits him with a knee to his stomach. Izuku falls to the ground after receiving the blow. That was an easy blow, don't tell me it's that easy to defeat you, Endeavor said. Of course not, Izuku said to make an impulsive jump with his fire and attack Endeavor with a kick. Endeavor easily blocks the kick but Izuku takes advantage of the proximity to attack Endeavor with a flash shot from close range. Izuku takes advantage of the fact that Endeavor was disoriented by the attack to jump back and create 3 fireballs in his hand which begin to spin so fast that it seems that Izuku has a disc of fire in his hand. Red Storm, Izuku launches the 3 fireballs that shoot at high speed at Endeavor. Seeing this, Endeavor smiles. Not bad, Endeavor quickly gathers fire in his hand and fires it, destroying Izuku's fireballs. But that's not enough. Endeavor creates a fire arrow and throws it at Izuku's feet. When it hits the ground it creates a pillar of fire which knocks Izuku down. I wasn't expecting that, Izuku said to himself before standing up. Is that all you got? Endeavor asked. Nah, I'm just getting started, Izuku said as he surrounds his body with fire and charges at Endeavor at high speed. Endeavor widens his eyes in surprise when he sees Izuku suddenly appear in front of him. Luckily, thanks to his experience as a hero, Endeavor is able to dodge Izuku's blow and knock him down with a blow to the face. This time Izuku doesn't get up immediately and instead just stares at the sky. Okay, that's all I got, he said before standing up. So that's all, Endeavor said. I admit it, you have potential. Really? Izuku said excited. Yes. Endeavor said. Yes, this could work. Although for now I will only help him improve his own skills. If he proves capable I will start teaching him my own techniques. Cool. Endeavor says I have potential, Izuku said. Indeed, I would like to help you in your training for UA, Endeavor said. Really? Izuku asked. Yes. Endeavor said. You can even use the gym at my house, it's definitely better than training in this dump. Thanks, but I prefer to train here, Izuku said. And why is that? Endeavor asked. This place used to be very beautiful. My mother used to bring me here when I was younger. Unfortunately people didn't think so and started using this place as a garbage dump. Izuku said. So I made it my mission to try to fix this site. And with that I also train. That's very noble of you but, Fuyumi joined the conversation. I don't see how cleaning the place helps you train. No. He's right, Endeavor said. The different objects here and the different ways of carrying them can help your body physically, others can serve as target practice for shooting practice. Exactly. I train and help the community at the same time, Izuku said. For me it's a double prize. Endeavor observes the place. In that case you don't mind if I join? Not at all, Izuku said. Perfect. Then let's start the training. Endeavor said. Fuyumi, you can go back home if you want. Actually, Fuyumi said as she walks over to a pile of trash and takes some of it in her hands. I would also like to help. Maybe I can't with the largest objects but I can help with the small and light ones. Any help is useful, Izuku said. If that's what you want, fine by me, Endeavor said while carrying a refrigerator. The hours passed and dusk has arrived and Izuku has finished his training for today. I guess you don't train every day, Endeavor said. No, I also have to do my schoolwork. After all, to enter UA it takes more than having a powerful quirk, Izuku said. Well said. Endeavor said. You have Fuyumi's contact. Keep talking to her so she can tell me when you are available to train. I will, Izuku said. Perfect, in that case I'll leave. Endeavor said. Let's go, Fuyumi. Alright, Fuyumi said. It was good to see you again, Izuku. Likewise, Izuku said, but in that he remembers something. Wait, Endeavor. Endeavor turns to look at him while Izuku takes a notebook out of his backpack. Could you give me your autograph? Izuku said. My autograph? Endeavor asked. Yes, it's for my little sister. Izuku said. She is a big fan of heroes and asked me if I see you again to ask for an autograph for her. I see, Endeavor said as he takes the notebook. What her name? Izumi Midoriya. Izuku said. Endeavor quickly signs the notebook and hands it to Izuku. Here you go, he said. I have to do what it takes to be on his good side. He is someone I can use to complete my goal. Thanks, Izuku said. Sure, Endeavor said and then turned around and started to leave. Let's go, Fuyumi. Yes, Fuyumi said, following her father. Goodbye, Izuku. Good luck on your training. Thanks, Izuku said. Well, I guess I should go too. With nothing else to do, Izuku decides to return home. Midoriya household. I'm home, Izuku said as he entered his house. Welcome home, Izuku. Inko said. Welcome home, Oni-chan, Izumi said. Hey Izumi, I have a gift for you, Izuku said while handing Izumi the notebook that Endeavor signed. Izumi looks at the notebook and opens it and is then surprised to see Endeavor's autograph on the first page. It's Endeavor's autograph, Izumi said excitedly. I was lucky enough to run into him again, so I asked him what you asked me for, Izuku said. Thank you, Izumi said. Izuku pats his sister's head. You know I would do anything for you, Izuku said. So you crossed paths with Endeavor again, Inko said. Tell me. Was Fuyumi with him? Actually yes, Izuku said. And I already told you, we're just friends. Sure, Inko said. Anyway, the best thing of all is that Endeavor said he would help me train, Izuku said. That's so cool, Izumi said. Now I will be more ready than ever to enter UA, Izuku said. You have our full support, Inko said. After this, the rest of the day was calm, except for Izuku, who couldn't wait to train with Endeavor. After all this, Izuku's routine changed a little. After his normal classes and after eating he headed to Dagoba, the agreement being that he would train from Monday to Friday with Endeavor and on the weekends he would use them to rest. Increase the temperature, Endeavor orders. Yes, Izuku said as he does as indicated, increasing the temperature of his flames. This is harder than it seems. It doesn't matter, to be a hero you must always give your best, Endeavor said. To get to the top you need to be the best. Right, Izuku said as he starts to produce more flames. However, after a few seconds the flames are extinguished and Izuku falls to his knees to the ground. I think I'm overheating. Then find a way to cool down or distribute heat away from your body, Endeavor said. Actually, Izuku said as he gets up and goes to his backpack to take out a notebook. I had already thought about it, designing my hero suit to be able to distribute heat away from my body. Izuku hands his notebook to Endeavor and he looks through it. Interesting, yes, this can work, Endeavor said. I see that you designed your suit as a compliment to you rather than a simple accessory to look good. Yes, my training has not only helped me become stronger, but also to know the strengths and weaknesses of my quirk, Izuku said. I designed my suit to maximize my strengths and minimize my weaknesses. I can see that you impress me. Good job, Endeavor said. Maybe I'll take a few ideas from here and implement them in my suit. Just then Fuyumi arrives with some bento with food. Hi, I brought some food, Fuyumi said. Oh, yes, thank you, Endeavor said while taking one of the bento. I also brought one for you, Izuku, Fuyumi said. I could eat something, yes, Izuku said while taking the bento. Thank you, Fuyumi-chan. Won't you eat anything? Don't worry, I ate before coming here, Fuyumi said. After all, I am the one who takes care of the food at home. Oh, Izuku said as he sits on a bench to eat. Fuyumi sits next to him, all while Endeavor watches them. Now that I think about it, I never asked you if you have any brothers. In fact, yes, I have 2 younger brothers, Natsuo who is 3 years younger than me and Shoto who just turned 7 years old, Fuyumi said. Wow, the same age as my younger sister, Izumi, Izuku said. It would be nice to introduce them to each other, don't you think? It wouldn't be a bad idea, Fuyumi said. Shoto has not had an ideal childhood, so to speak, it would be good for him to meet people his age. I see. Delicate topic. I won't investigate, Izuku said. For Izumi it would also be good. She hasn't had a great childhood either. She was born quirkless and, you can imagine how her classmates treated her when they found out that. How horrible. It must have been difficult for her, Fuyumi said. Luckily she has me. As soon as I found out that she was being bullied I took it upon myself to teach those kids a lesson, Izuku said. You know, it is the duty of an older sibling to protect the younger sibling, don't you agree? Fuyumi gets a little uncomfortable and quickly composes herself without Izuku noticing. Yes, you're right, Fuyumi said. Izuku tries the bento food. This is so good, Izuku said while eating. Thank you. I really like cooking, it relieves me of stress from everyday life, Fuyumi said. In my house it's just Dad, my 2 brothers and me, and since Dad is busy with his hero work, I'm the one who takes care of the food and stuff. That's great. In my case I live only with my mom and my younger sister. Dad works abroad so Mom is the one who takes care of those things, Izuku said. I help her in any way I can but lately with school, training and studying for UA I have less time. I think it's good that you try to help, it shows how well you were educated, Fuyumi said. Thank you. You too. You take care of many things in your house, Izuku said. You can do things that I'm not that good at. For example, I'm not that good at cooking. I know how to cook the basics but nothing more apart from that. Well, I guess everyone is good at different things, Fuyumi said. You're right about that, Izuku said. Izuku and Fuyumi continue chatting, all while Endeavor watches them subtly. That's it, keep it up Fuyumi. Endeavor smiles. Help me achieve my goal if Shoto fails me. After eating a little and regaining energy, the training continues. The days pass until the day of the entrance exam arrives. Izuku gets up early. He can't hold back the excitement. The day has come. I can't afford to fail, Izuku thought while eating breakfast with his mother and younger sister. I know you're excited, but if you eat that fast you're going to choke Izuku, Inko said. I'm sorry but I can't help it. I'm very excited and nervous, Izuku said. I know you will make it brother, Izumi said. You have our full support, Inko said. Izuku smiles and continues with his breakfast and once finished he dresses in his school uniform as well as carrying a backpack with his gym clothes. Alright, I'm leaving, Izuku said. Wish me luck. Good luck, Izuku, Inko said. Good luck brother, Izumi said. Thanks, I'll see you in the afternoon, Izuku said and then left. The time has come, the first step to becoming a hero. Izuku is standing in front of the H-shaped building, the main building of the UA. I'm finally here. All this time I've been training for this moment, Izuku thought as he watched the entrance of the UA. I can't afford to fail. Just then, Izuku's cell phone rings and he notices that he received a message from Fuyumi. Good luck on the entrance exam. I know you don't need it but I still wish you luck. By the way, Dad says that you not only have to pass, that you have to pass with a number 1 score. Even Endeavor supports me. In his own way, it's obvious that I can't fail, Izuku thought as he answers the message. With your support I will definitely pass. Thank you. Without wasting any more time, Izuku enters the building. Izuku enters the written exam room and sits in his designated place. After a few minutes of waiting, the room fills and a small creature enters and sits facing everyone. Good morning everyone. Many of you may be wondering what I am. A dog, a mouse, a bear, the creature said. Well, that doesn't matter. My name is Nezu and I am the principal of this school. Nezu is a small stout creature who appears to be a possible combination of several different animals, including a dog, a mouse, and a bear, which would make him a chimera. He has the head of a mouse with circular black eyes, a large scar over the right one, relatively rectangular-shaped ears with pale pink and sides slanting outwards from the top of his head, and an elongated muzzle with a small round nose. His fur is white and has large, dog-like paws with pink pads and a thin tail like that of a cat. He sports a white dress shirt, a dark red tie around his neck, a black double-beeped waistcoat and matching dress pants. He wears orange lace-up sneakers with incredibly thick soles which seem to be quite large on him. That's the principal, huh? Izuku thought. Well, I guess you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. First we will start with the written exam. This is simple, it is basic knowledge that all of you should already know. Saying this, several robots enter the room to deliver the exam papers. You have an hour and a half to take the exam. When the time is up I will return to explain the second part of the exam. Very well. The time has come, Izuku thought as he begins to read the exam questions. This shouldn't be so complicated. Yes, I can do this. Blaze of Glory opening. Song. Jujutsu Kaisen opening 1 Kaikai Kitan. In the darkness a flame begins to burn and then transforms into Izuku, who is sitting inside a train while sleeping. At that moment a small snake slithers between his legs. Uzu Muzu Hito no Nari, Hyosei Shinsho Jingai, A Mononoke Midai Da. Inside an underground traffic tunnel, Renjiro is seen stretching his legs. The shot focuses on his face which has a determined look. Kyoshin Tenkai Inochi Yadoshi, Auto wa Papera Pa na, Nakama Naki Ninjan. Looking at the horizon, leaning on a wall is Kaoruko. After looking for a while she stops leaning and starts walking. The shot focuses on her face, she is smiling. Yosaru Katai Fubudo na Jinsei. In a shopping center, Hana is going down the escalators. Seinu mo nai daiju hai nikiju ga. On top of a building is Daichi observing the city. Anshin Budo ni Batsu Kosei. Sitting in an armchair in his living room, Best Jeanist is reading a book. Todoru Kyoku Boku ni Ibasho. In a park, Sensoji is blowing on his glasses to clean them, then he puts them on and smiles. Nado nai Kara. On top of a building at night is Endeavor, patrolling the city. Yumi no Hazama de Night Nide. The shot zooms in on Endeavor, who has a scowl on his face as the fire on his face moves violently. Donna Kao Serba I Ka Wakaru Dakido Mata. We return to Izuku on the train. When it enters a tunnel, sitting in front of Izuku, a person appears with totally black clothes and a white mask staring at him. Kodit Kur Yo. The snake that is still moving between Izuku's feet suddenly pounces on Izuku's face, opening its jaws to attack. Izuku wakes up surprised and fire emerges from his body. Yami wo harit Yami wo harit. Izuku runs on the falls and jumps to attack a villain. At the same time, Best Jeanist uses his quirk to trap said villain. Yuru no Tobari ga Oritera Ezu da. Endeavor, still on the roof of the building, attacks with a burst of fire which illuminates the dark sky. Itai Shite Mawaru. 2 hooded people, one carrying a large hammer in its arms, look forward. Kanjsen. 2 other hooded people are sitting around a table, behind them are several people with snake masks. Zaragoto Nado wa Hakisuit Ike 2. People walk through the streets calmly. When people pass by, another hooded person appears who extends its arm revealing a mouth in the palm of its hand. Mata Tamanide. Kaoruko creates several bubbles. Mata Tamanide. Aoki trains with her steel baton. Dare Yori mo Sadoku Urumaki ni Yumareshi Kono Shoudai wo Ima wa Tada Noroi. Hana runs while generating electricity in her hands. Daichi moves in the air using his jetpack. Emi smiles forward as Yukihiro adjusts his bandages. Sensoji creates 2 blasts in his hands. Yu starts growing. Renjiro is ready to fight while his fists are surrounded by fire. Izuku is in the park talking to a girl with white hair. Norwar at a Boku no Mirai wo Suzu Shite. A snake appears with its jaw open biting someone. The scene changes to the white-haired girl smiling. The shot zooms out revealing that she is accompanied by a boy with white and red hair. A white-haired boy is leaning behind a door. Endeavor appears again with a frown. Hashit Korand. Izuku is pushed by a gust of wind as fire surrounds him. Kanai Atami Daite wa. The scene changes and now Izuku is seen with his mother and younger sister. Sakai ga Mataru Kono Ishun wo. Izuku is now seen in his classroom with the rest of his classmates from UA Class 1A. Then everything goes dark and Izuku can be seen staring, with a frown, at the guy in the white mask. The guy draws a katana and attacks Izuku. Suddenly Izuku wakes up on the train confused, not noticing that a bit of fire on his shoulder goes out. Blaze of Glory. Izuku Midoriya's Fire Hero Chronicles. The exam time passed in the blink of an eye. Alright, time out, Nezu said as the robots collected all the exams. Now we will move on to the second part, the practical exam. Saying this, the screen lights up illustrating the exam instructions. Each one will be assigned to an area in which a simulated exercise will be carried out for 10 minutes in an urban area. In each area there will be different types of enemies which you will have to defeat to earn points. Each robot has a different value in points. Finally, at a specified time an enemy will appear quite difficult to defeat. The value of this robot is 0 points. It is more of an obstacle than a target, so I recommend you avoid it at all costs. It seems like they will divide us all into different groups, Izuku thought. I wonder if they would let people from the same schools be in the same groups. Very well, if there are no questions, please take the form at your desk. It will tell you which area to go to. Nezu said. As you can see, we have considered your schools of origin and we have divided you so that former classmates do not end up in the same area. Now please proceed to your designated area, what the hero Napoleon Bonaparte ever said. A true hero is one who overcomes all the misfortunes of life. Go beyond, plus ultra. After this, everyone went to their respective assigned areas. Battle Center A. Man, Ua definitely likes to spend money. This place is huge, Izuku thought. It's like a city. In an area A, how many villains can there be? Said a random applicant. There are probably areas where more robots congregate, Izuku thought. Obviously everyone will want to go where the majority of robots are, but the smartest thing to do is to take care of the robots that are straggling or that are in separate areas. Yes, get points while I wait for the others to get tired and thus in the last moments of the exam get as many points as possible. Suddenly, the doors to enter open. Alright, the practical exam begins. Nezu's voice is heard through the speaker. Without wasting time, Izuku rushes towards the entrance, without waiting for any type of countdown or indication. Endeavor-san, do you have any advice for the exam? Izuku remembers his last conversation with Endeavor. You want some advice? Endeavor's words ring in Izuku's head as he approaches a one-point robot. Don't treat the exam like that, an exam, treat it as if it were a real situation. Remembering Endeavor's words, Izuku throws a fireball at the robot, destroying it. That's 1 point, Izuku said to himself. Meanwhile everyone was staring at him and started muttering. What is he doing? There were no indications to start. He's gonna be disqualified. I see we have someone who understands things, Nezu said. In real life there are no countdowns. I advise you to follow the example of your potential classmate or else he will take all the points. Everyone rushed at the city. That's not fair. It's just an entrance exam. Can't you be nicer to us? Izuku ignores the other applicants' complaints and focuses on the exam. At UA they take things very seriously it seems, Izuku thought while destroying 2 robots. Observation room. Inside a room are all the UA professors observing the performance of the applicants. This year is interesting to say the least, one teacher said. Indeed, I don't see that many of them have the potential, another teacher said. This year seems like it will be different from others, Nezu said. Not just because, how did you put it? Because of the interestingness of the examinees, if not because we have new additions to our staff. This year we have a change in staff. Many of our old staff have already retired and now we need new teachers, the first voice said. That's why we can thank Hakamada-san and Kamihara-san for joining us as teachers at UA, even if it's just for a couple of years, Nezu said. It's a good deal to nurture the next generation of heroes, Hakamada said. I agree with my friend. Nurturing the next generation of heroes is a very noble thing, Kamihara said. Even so, let's not define anything yet. Nothing is decided until it's over, Nezu said. I won't raise my expectations, but you're right. So let's raise the stakes, don't we? Nezu said as he pressed a red button. Battle Center A. Izuku continued with the exam, accumulating points by destroying robots. Also, while he was doing it, he helped one or another examinee with difficulties. Hey! Behind you! Izuku throws a fireball to destroy a robot that had sneaked behind another person who had not realized he had the robot behind him. Wow, thanks, the guy said as he destroys another robot with a fire punch. That was a close one, don't you think? I guess. The important thing is that nothing bad happened, Izuku said. You're right. The guy said. Well, I guess we should continue with the exam. I hope we see each other again at UA. Without further ado, the guy continues with the exam. I couldn't even ask him his name. Oh well, next time, I guess, Izuku thought. At that moment, the ground begins to shake and a giant robot appears from among the buildings, the 0 points. So that's 0 points. Yes, definitely an obstacle more than a target to destroy, Izuku thought while seeing the size of the robot. Finally, my time to shine has arrived, a blonde girl said behind Izuku and then started running towards the robot. Hey, isn't that dangerous? Izuku said. Not for me, the girl said to suddenly grow to a height of just over 20 meters. Interestingly, her clothes grew with her. Wow, I guess her clothes are made to grow with her, Izuku thought. The girl approaches the robot and hits it on the head, destroying it. Threat neutralized, the girl said, but she doesn't notice that several pieces of the robot begin to fall. Most of the pieces of the robot that fall are not dangerous, but one of them is about to fall on some examinees. Watch out, Izuku said as he jumps up and prepares a large amount of fire in his hands. I got it, Izuku fires a large burst of fire which destroys the piece of robot that was about to hit the people. Meanwhile, the girl who hit 0 points prevents the other pieces from falling heavily to the ground by catching them before they fall and then gently placing them on the ground. All right everyone. Time's up. Nezu's voice signaled the end of the exam. That was close, the girl said as she returned to her normal size. Good one there. You too, although you should be more careful next time, Izuku said. Note taken. The girl said before walking away. Well, the exam is over and I was able to highlight my performance. I would say it was a complete success. I'm leaving, bye. What an interesting person, Izuku thought. Oh well. I guess I should go too. I got more than 60 points, so I probably passed. After taking a breath to catch his breath, Izuku also decides to return home. He is done for the day. Later that day, the night after the entrance exam, the teachers are reviewing the participants' results and they are not very happy to say the least. It seems that in the end you were right, Nezu said. This year the exams were not at the level of the school's expectations. We have very few people who managed to pass. Many failed the written exam, even though the practical one did not go so badly, a teacher said. Many people believe that only your combat skills are important in UA, but they are wrong. Knowledge is also important, Nezu said. A shame that this year many people have not given importance to that. What do we do now? Another teacher asked. We can't accept those who failed the written exam, Nezu said. And we have already seen everyone who passed both exams. I have an idea. What is it about principal? I want a list of people who took the exam for the hero course but have also tried the general course, Nezu said, but only those who passed the written exam. What is that for? A teacher asked. You know very well that the entrance exam is always more advantageous for those who have a combat-oriented quirk, Nezu said. That's why we have the sports festival, to give the opportunity to those who did not have that advantage to enter the hero course. Why don't we go a little ahead and give some of those guys a chance? Do you mean that we will accept all those who have tried the hero course but failed and have attempted the general studies exam as a second option? Another teacher asked. Not everyone. That is why we must review them and we will see who really has the potential to be heroes. We will review their performance in the practical exam to analyze them and see if they have the potential to enter the hero course from the beginning, Nezu said. That's why I only want to review those who have passed the written exam. I see. Makes sense. Well, I'll go get the files. After several hours of extra revision, the teachers are still not satisfied. Well, even with this we barely reached the number of students just for one class of the hero course. A teacher said. What do we do now? The way I see it, We have two options, Nezu said. Either we only have a single class in the hero course, or we have two classes with reduced numbers. And what will it be then? You are the principal, so it is your decision. The decision is obvious. What we will do is. A week later, Midoriya household. Izuku was eating his food while waiting for the letter from the UA. I'm sure that I managed to pass. I got more than 60 points in the practical exam and I'm completely sure that I passed the written exam. Still I can't help but be nervous, he thought. Izuku, are you okay? I see you very thoughtful, Inko asked. Oh, yes, I'm just a little nervous about the UA results, Izuku said. What are you worried about, brother? Izumi asked. I bet you managed to pass with the highest score. Having the highest score or being the best is not what is important. I am satisfied with passing. What matters is what I do when I become a hero, Izuku said. Although it wouldn't be bad to be number one, don't you think? Izumi laughs with her brother. Just at that moment the doorbell rings and Inko went to answer the door. Izuku, it has arrived, Inko said as she handed a letter to her son. Oh my god, finally, Izumi said. Come one brother, open it. You are more anxious than me, calm down, Izuku said as he opened the letter. To his surprise a small device fell on the table. This device started to project a video that showed the principal Nezu. Izuku Midoriya, in this projection I will provide you with your scores in the entrance exam. First of all, you got a passing score of 92% in the written part, congratulations. Now, for the practical, you scored a total of 67 villain points, that is more than enough, you pass. Congratulations. I did it, Izuku said. Alright. Congratulations Izuku, Inko said. Congratulations big bro, Izumi said. But that's not all. Nezu said, getting everyone's attention. You see, we had a secret scoring, rescue points, we rate the heroic acts apart from the villain points. By saving other applicants from any danger you earned a total of 35 hero points, earning a total of 102 points overall, as well taking the first place in the scoreboard. Within this letter you will also find your student ID, as well for your assigned class. We are waiting, at your hero academy. You did it. You didn't just get in, you also scored first place, Izumi said while hugging Izuku. I did it, I scored first, I can't believe it, Izuku said. You can finally fulfill your dream, Izuku, Inko said joining the hug. I am very proud of you. Thank you, Izuku said. I have to tell this to Fuyumi-chan and Endeavor. Meanwhile, Endeavor is in his home office going through some papers. At that moment Fuyumi enters the room. Father. I'm sorry for interrupting you, but Izuku told me about his results on the entrance exam, and since you told me to tell you how it went, well, she said, but was interrupted by her father. Yes, how did it go? Tell me quickly because I have things to do, Endeavor said. Well, he passed. I already sent him my congratulations, of course. I'm glad that someone like him was able to, Fuyumi said, but has, again, interrupted by her father. That was the minimum. What matters to me is knowing how it went. Where did he score? Endeavor asked. Why don't you see it yourself? Fuyumi said while showing her father the results of the top scores. 1. Izuku Midoriya. Villain points. 67. Rikyu points. 35. Total. 102. 2. Sensoji Sakino. Villain points. 75. Rikyu points. 10. Total. 85. 3. Renjiro Takahashi. Villain points. 60. Rescue points. 20. Total. 80. 4. Hana Yoshida. Villain points. 45. Hero points. 28. Total. 73. 5. Matsusho Miyako. Villain points. 40. Hero points. 30. Total. 70. 6. Daichi Suzuki. Villain points. 36. Hero points. 32. Total. 68. 7. Emi Aoki. Villain points. 52. Hero points. 9. Total. 61. 8. Anasho Yoshidori. Villain points. 45. Hero points. 15. Total. 60. 9. Yu Takayama. Villain points. 49. Hero points. 10. Total. 59. 10. Tsuruta Nanpaku. Villain points. 47. Hero points. 10. Total. 57. Seeing the results, Endeavor can't help but smile. Perfect, you can leave now, Fuyumi, and send him my congratulations, but don't let him get overconfident, the difficult part is just about to begin, he said. Right. Fuyumi said before leaving the room. Endeavor is left alone and his smile changes to an obsessive one. Keep it up, Izuku. If you manage to meet my expectations, I will arrange a marriage between you and Fuyumi where you have to change your last name to mine. Endeavor thought. Once you become part of my family and a Todoroki, you will only have to overcome that blonde idiot and become the #1 hero. You will fulfill my goal. So, what do you think of the results? Nezu asked. The teachers were reviewing all the scores from the practical exam. UA's entrance exam scoreboard. 1. Izuku Midoriya. Villain points. 67. Rikyu points. 35. Total. 102. 2. Shinsoji Sakino. Villain points. 75. Rikyu points. 10. Total. 85. 3. Renjiro Takahashi. Villain points. 60. Rescue points. 20. Total. 80. 4. Hana Yoshida. Villain points. 45. Hero points. 28. Total. 73. 5. Matsusho Miyako. Villain points. 40. Hero points. 30. Total. 70. 6. Daichi Suzuki. Villain points. 36. Hero points. 32. Total. 68. 7. Emi Aoki. Villain points. 52. Hero points. 9. Total. 61. 8. Anasho Yoshidori. Villain points. 45. Hero points. 15. Total. 60. 9. Yu Takayama. Villain points. 49. Hero points. 10. Total. 59. 10. Tsuruta Nanpaku. Villain points. 47. Hero points. 10. Total. 57. The entire top 10 has potential. A shame that not all of the examinees had that same potential. A teacher said. I mean, look at first place, it's been a long time since we had someone score more than 100 points. And he did it with a decent amount of rescue points, another teacher said. Well, we can say that we will have a very different year from the others. I have a feeling that we will see something very interesting with our students, Nezu said, especially with that boy. Izuku Midoriya, for some reason you catch my attention. You are undoubtedly right about that. This situation with the hero course has only happened once besides this one in all the time that UA has been in existence. Another teacher said. If I'm not mistaken, this also happened during Endeavor's student days. And in that exam he also came in first place with a score greater than 100 points, another teacher said. It seems that things are repeating themselves. A boy with a fire quirk enters UA with a score greater than 100 and just that same year the hero course is not completely filled, the first teacher said. Let's just hope the same thing doesn't happen as that time, Nezu said. Yes, I heard some rumors, are they true? I wasn't the principal at that time, but unfortunately I can confirm that the rumors are true, Nezu said. Wow, I was hoping those rumors were just that, rumors. Unfortunately they are not, but things have changed and now things are better. Since All Might got the title of the symbol of peace, crime has decreased a lot, Nezu said. Not only that, after everything that happened that year UA has raised its standards and now we make sure to prepare our students in a better way so that this does not happen again. Okay, now back on track. Who will be in charge of which class? Blaze of Glory opening, song. Jujutsu Kaisen opening 1 Kaikai Kitan. In the darkness a flame begins to burn and then transforms into Izuku, who is sitting inside a train while sleeping. At that moment a small snake slithers between his legs. Uzu Muzu Hito no Nari, Hyosei Shinsho Jingai, A Mononoke Midai Da. Inside an underground traffic tunnel, Renjiro is seen stretching his legs. The shot focuses on his face, which has a determined look. Kyoshin Tenkai Inochi Yadoshi, Auto wa Papera Pa na, Nakama Naki Ninjan. Looking at the horizon, leaning on a wall is Kaoruko. After looking for a while she stops leaning and starts walking. The shot focuses on her face, she is smiling. Yosaru katai fubudo na jinsei. In a shopping center, Hana is going down the escalators. Seinu mo nai daiju hai nikiju ga. On top of a building is Daichi observing the city. Onshin budo ni batsu kosei. Sitting in an armchair in his living room, Best Jeanist is reading a book. Todoru kyoku boku ni ibasho. In a park, Sensoji is blowing on his glasses to clean them, then he puts them on and smiles. Nado nai kara. On top of a building at night is Endeavor, patrolling the city. Yumi no Hazama de night night. The shot zooms in on Endeavor, who has a scowl on his face as the fire on his face moves violently. Donna kao serba I ka wakaru dekido mata. We return to Izuku on the train. When it enters a tunnel, sitting in front of Izuku, a person appears with totally black clothes and a white mask staring at him. Kodit kur yo. The snake that is still moving between Izuku's feet suddenly pounces on Izuku's face, opening its jaws to attack. Izuku wakes up surprised and fire emerges from his body. Yami wo harit, Yami wo harit. Izuku runs on the falls and jumps to attack a villain. At the same time, Best Jeanist uses his quirk to trap said villain. Yuru no Tobari ga oritera ezu da. Endeavor, still on the roof of the building, attacks with a burst of fire which illuminates the dark sky. Itai shite mawaru. Two hooded people, one carrying a large hammer in its arms, look forward. Kanjsen. Two other hooded people are sitting around a table, behind them are several people with snake masks. Zaragoto nado wa hakisuit iktu. People walk through the streets calmly. When people pass by, another hooded person appears who extends its arm revealing a mouth in the palm of its hand. Mata Tamanide. Kauruko creates several bubbles. Mata Tamanide. Aoki trains with her steel baton. Dare yori mo sadoku urumaki ni yumareshi kono shaudai wo ima wa tada noroi. Hana runs while generating electricity in her hands. Daichi moves in the air using his jetpack. Emi smiles forward as Yukihiro adjusts his bandages. Sensoji creates two blasts in his hands. Yu starts growing. Renjiro is ready to fight while his fists are surrounded by fire. Izuku is in the park talking to a girl with white hair. Norwar at a boku no Mirai wo suzu shite. A snake appears with its jaw open biting someone. The scene changes to the white-haired girl smiling. The shot zooms out revealing that she is accompanied by a boy with white and red hair. A white-haired boy is leaning behind a door. Endeavor appears again with a frown. Hashit Korand. Izuku is pushed by a gust of wind as fire surrounds him. Kanai Atami Daite wa. The scene changes and now Izuku is seen with his mother and younger sister. Sakai ga Mataru kono ishun wo. Izuku is now seen in his classroom with the rest of his classmates from UA Class 1A. Then everything goes dark and Izuku can be seen staring, with a frown, at the guy in the white mask. The guy draws a katana and attacks Izuku. Suddenly Izuku wakes up on the train confused, not noticing that a bit of fire on his shoulder goes out. Blaze of Glory. Izuku Midoriya's Fire Hero Chronicles. Izuku, are you sure you don't forget anything? Inko asked her son. Yes, I double-checked. Izuku said. I'm leaving, I'll be late. Brother, you look very cool, Izumi said. I can't wait for my turn to go. I bet you look just as cool or cooler than me, Izuku said as he pats his sister's head. Izuku, his mother calls his attention. You look so cool. Izuku smiled back at his mother. Thanks. After these words Izuku begins to head towards the UA. Izuku arrives at the train station and enters, however in his haste he crashes with a guy with black hair and an expressionless face. I'm sorry, Izuku said. No problem. The guy said with a completely expressionless voice. Just be more careful next time. Without saying a single word or waiting for a response, the guy leaves. I guess he must have had a hard day, although it's only morning, Izuku thought as he sits on a seat on the train. Maybe his job has him tired. After a while on the train, Izuku finally arrives at UA. My first official day as a UA student. I'm ready, Izuku thought as he starts to look for his classroom. I'm in class 1A, I just have to search. After several minutes of searching, Izuku finds the entrance to his classroom. Here it is. The door is undoubtedly large, although it is probably for people whose quirks make them larger than a normal person. Izuku enters the room and is surprised, not by the people who have already arrived, but by the few seats there are. There are only 10 seats. As far as I remember, each class consists of 20 students, he thought. At that moment a boy approaches him. It is the boy he saved from a robot in the exam. Izuku takes the time to observe him well. The boy has purple hair combed back, his skin is light and he wears the normal UA uniform. "Hey, it's you. Great," the guy said. "Thanks for the save at the exam. I'm Renjiro Takahashi, a pleasure." Izuku Midoriya. "Nice to meet you, Renjiro-san," Izuku said while shaking hands with Renjiro. "You barely know me and you already call me by my name, huh?" Renjiro said. "Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I've always liked calling people by their first names instead of their last names," Izuku said. "You can call me Izuku if you like." "Sure," Renjiro said. "Interesting that there are only 10 seats, don't you think?" "You noticed too, didn't you?" Izuku said. "Classes are usually made up of 20 students, something must have happened." Just then the door opens and a boy Izuku recognized enters. "Very well, get ready everyone, I have arrived, Shinsoji Sakino has arrived," Shinsoji said. "Wow, looks like you managed to pass, huh?" Izuku said. "What are you doing here?" Shinsoji said. "Well, I passed the exam, so it's obvious why I'm here," Izuku said. "You know him?" Renjiro asked. "Something like that," Izuku said. "Look, we'll be classmates from now on if we try to get along, okay? As long as you don't get in my way we'll be fine," Shinsoji said. Izuku and Shinsoji stare at each other as more people enter the room. "Please, let's avoid conflicts on the first day," a person said entering the room. Said person is a tall, slim man with an unnaturally long and flexible neck, as shown on several occasions, and dark, heavily lashed eyes which appeared to tilt slightly inwards. He has rather long, blonde hair which he wears combed drastically to the left, covering his left eye. He is dressed in a pair of jeans, a denim waistcoat with 2 large beep pockets, and a denim dress shirt with a very high collar which covers his face up to just below his nose. He wears 2 belts, one around his collar and one around his waist, and short dark brown boots with thick gray shafts and soles. "We are in the heroes course, save that energy for later," the man said. "Please be polite and sit in your seats." Paying attention to the guy, everyone sits down. "Very good, now that everyone is seated I will introduce myself," the man said. "I am Tsunagu Hakamata, also known as the professional hero Best Jeanist, and I will be your homeroom teacher for the rest of the year." Best Jeanist. He is an incredibly famous hero. Many people believe that soon he will be part of the top heroes. Izuku thought. Incredible that UA was able to recruit someone like him. "Many of you will have several questions," Best Jeanist said. "The most obvious is why the reduced number of seats in the class, isn't it?" "That's right, I was wondering why there are only 10 students in the class," a girl with blue skin asked. "Aren't classes at UA supposed to consist of 20 students each?" "Well, that's because this year has been something special," Best Jeanist said. "This year the number of passes was excessively low, we did not even have enough students to complete a single class of the hero course. Almost no one approved, so, does that mean it's just us at the hero course?" Izuku thought. Then the director decided to do something interesting. Best Jeanist continued. "Some of you did not pass the practical exam, but not for not trying, but because of how it is structured. Some of you do not have combat-oriented quirks and therefore could not collect enough points." Saying this, some of the class members felt uncomfortable. "But you know that, don't you? That's why you also applied for the General Studies course knowing that you would have a second chance at the sports festival, right?" Best Jeanist said. "That is why the principal was in charge of reviewing your files one by one and decided to choose all those who have the potential to become incredible heroes from the beginning, and here you are now." "Okay, but that doesn't explain why there are 10 of us," Renjiro said. "Despite doing this, we barely had enough students for a single class, which is why we decided to divide the hero course this year into 2 classes of 10 students," Best Johnny's said. "So, Please, I don't want you to belittle your classmates who entered through this method. If the principal allowed them to enter this course from the beginning, it is because they are your equals, do you understand? Loud and clear, Sensei, Izuku said. Best Jeanist smiles. I like you, boy. He said. Okay, now that I've explained this, it's time to move on to the next thing. Each of you will come forward and introduce yourself, your name and quirk. Could you give us an example, Sensei? The blonde girl from the exam said. I guess I can. As I already said, my name is Tsunagu Hakamata and my quirk is Fiber Master. It allows me to freely manipulate the threads in any nearby piece of fabric. Best Jeanist said. Now it's your turn, let's go in the seating order. The first to pass is the blue-skinned girl. Nice to meet you, my name is Kaoruko Iwata and my quirk is Bubble. She said. My quirk allows me to produce bubbles filled with any aroma that I had smelled at least once before. I can make both sweet-smelling bubbles and foul-smelling ones. She must have been one of those who came in through the principal accepting her after the exam results. Izuku thought. As Hakamata-sensei said, she is my equal now. The next one to pass is a girl that has notably straight teeth and quite long, dark hair, which is styled into two low plaits with a neat fringe hanging just over her eyes. Her eyes themselves are oval-shaped, and appear to be entirely blacked out, showing no visible iris or pupil. Hello, my name is Emi Aoki and my quirk is Mass Expansion. The girl said, it allows me to increase my body mass, turning myself into a blob-like form in the process. This blob form can grow larger than a residential building and is rubber-like in nature, allowing me to stretch and contract, as well as protects me from attacks. Her quirk sounds interesting. Apparently she can control the size she expands to, Izuku thought. Next is a boy who has his face, arms and hands covered in bandages. I'm Yukihiro Kato, my quirk is Traject. He said. It allows me to redirect objects in motion that pass through my bandages. It works in both living and non-living objects. Another one who probably entered the hero course in a special way. Izuku thought. Even so, his quirk can be very useful as support in a fight. The next to pass is Renjiro. Hi. My name is Renjiro Takahashi and my quirk is Fire Fist, he said. As the name suggests, I can cover my fists with fire. This also gives me some resistance to fire. Interesting. I guess we share something in common now. Our quirks are fire quirks. Izuku thought while standing up ready to introduce himself. It's a pleasure to meet all of you. I hope we can get along well in these 3 years. I'm Izuku Midoriya and my quirk is Inferno. Izuku said. My quirk allows me to produce and manipulate large amounts of extremely intense fire at will. The doctors say that my flames are much hotter than normal flames. You're not as pathetic as I thought. I guess you're worth paying attention to, Izuku Midoriya, Shinsoji thought. After introducing himself, Izuku returns to his seat and the next to pass is the blonde girl from the entrance exam. Nice to meet you guys, my name is Yu Takayama, you better remember it. My quirk is Gigantification. She said. My quirk allows me to grow to a gigantic size of 2062 cm, no more, no less. Her quirk is similar to Emi's, only she cannot change her size as she grows, Izuku thought. Next up is Shinsoji. I am Shinsoji Sakino. My quirk is Blast. He said. It allows me to create blasts from the palms of my hands. Simple but strong. Now I can see why he is so arrogant, Izuku thought. Next is a girl with long light brown hair and eyes of the same color. My name is Hana Yoshida and my quirk is Lightning Generation. She said. My quirk allows me to generate electricity in the form of lightning from my hands. An electrical quirk. Those are becoming more common lately, Izuku thought. Next is a girl with smart blue eyes, sloping inwards, and short, shoulder-length hair of a lighter blue color which she wears side-swept to the right. Nice to meet you. My name is Aiko Honda and my quirk is Good Ear. She said. My quirk allows me to hear high frequencies and quiet sounds that normal people cannot. Another one that entered in a special way. Izuku thought. Even so, her quirk can be very useful to facilitate communication between several heroes as well as to listen to conversations of villains. Finally, a boy with cream blonde hair and blue eyes stands up to introduce himself. I'm Daichi Suzuki and my quirk is Air Blast. He said. My quirk allow me to shoot blasts of air from my hands. An air quirk. We could make a good team, after all air can enhance fire, Izuku thought. Alright, now that we're all introduced, it's time to move on to today's next activity. Best Jeanist said. Please everyone follow me as we will go to the introduction ceremony by Principal Nezu. Class 1A follows their teacher to the outside courtyard where all the first-year classes gather for the introduction ceremony. Welcome freshmen to UA High School. The principal said. I hope all of you are in great shape and ready to begin your 3-year journey. On both sides of Nezu are all the UA teachers. With our staff we will be in charge of nurturing all of you so that when you become professionals you are all ready for the challenges that life throws at you. Nezu said. This year we have a reduced staff because several of our staff have just retired, even so that will not stop us from giving you the best quality of classes and lessons. Our class schedule is from Monday to Saturday, from 8 a.m. the morning until 4 p.m., with the exception of the hero course whose classes will conclude at 6 p.m. You will all have your time to rest and eat at 2 p.m. In the cafeteria you can all order the dish you like. Our professionals will take care of your orders. Nezu said. Our school also has various clubs to which all of you, except the students of the hero course, can join. That's kind of unfair, don't you think? Renjiro whispers to Izuku. I guess because we have extra activities unlike the rest of the classes, Izuku whispers back. Our facilities have everything you need, from an infirmary managed by Recovery Girl, to the cafeteria led by Lunch Rush, all with the purpose that you will lack nothing during your studies here. Nezu said. Your classroom teachers will be in charge of giving you orientation and introduction to the facilities once this ceremony is over. With this I finish my speech, now I only have to welcome you to UA High School, Nezu said. After the introduction ceremony, Best Jeanist gives his students a tour through the facilities, ending when they return to the classroom of Class 1A. And with this we finish the orientation. Best Jeanist said. Now, to finish today's day, under your desks you will find your gym uniforms, put them on, I will be waiting for you at the training ground. The 10 members of Class 1A gather at the training ground each dressed in their respective gym uniforms. So, Sensei, what are we going to do here? Kaoruko asked. Today is your first day but that doesn't mean we won't do anything, Best Jeanist said. As the only activity today we will have a quirk apprehension test. Quirk apprehension test? What's that? Emmy asked. You will do the same tests that you did in middle school, only this time you will use your quirks. For better understanding we will give an example. Best Jeanist looks among the students and points to one of them who turned out to be Izuku. Midoriya, you placed first at the entrance exam. How many meters did you achieve when throwing the ball at the school? Best Jeanist asked while handing Izuku a ball. Izuku thinks for a second. Around 70 meters I think. Not bad, now throw the ball using your quirk, you can do whatever you want as long as you don't exit the circle. Best Jeanist said. The objective is to throw the ball as far as possible, use your quirk and creativity to do it. Alright. Izuku said and then proceeded to ignite the ball. Then, using a fire blast, the ball is shot like a canyon. The shot was so strong that it created a gust of wind from which everyone had to cover. Best Jeanist's machine made a sound and he saw the score from Izuku. Not bad, I see that you know how to use your quirk creatively, he said while showing the score to the rest of the class. 733 meters. Cool, Renjiro said. It's not that big of a deal, Sensoji said. Now, I know this may seem like fun to all of you, but I must remind you that you are in UA now. You are here to become heroes, not to have fun. Best Jeanist said. By this I don't mean that you don't have fun or that you are serious all the time. What I mean is that you are no longer high school students. It is time for you to give your best in all the exercises and practices, that you take seriously what it means to be a hero. Everyone remains silent, listening to what their teacher tells them. You all decided to walk this path. Being a hero is not easy. There is always danger in this profession, but here at UA we will make sure to guide all of you on the right path. Best Jeanist said. This is not a competition, I don't want you to look at it that way, but obviously the scores you get in these tests will make you be either higher or lower on the scoreboard. So why are you rating us if you say this is not a competition? Emmy asked. There are 10 of you so we can do the following. See this as the top 10 of the hero billboard chart. These tests are how well you have done in your job as a hero, and in the end we will see where each of you is ranked in the top. Best Jeanist said. So please, do your best. Blaze of Glory opening. Song. Jujutsu Kaisen opening 1 Kaikai Kitan. In the darkness a flame begins to burn and then transforms into Izuku, who is sitting inside a train while sleeping. At that moment a small snake slithers between his legs. Uzu Muzu Hito no Nari, Hyosei Shinsho Jingai, A Mononoke Midai Da. Inside an underground traffic tunnel, Renjiro is seen stretching his legs. The shot focuses on his face, which has a determined look. Kyoshin Tenkai Inochi Yadoshi, Auto wa Papera Pa na, Nakama Naki Ninjan. Looking at the horizon, leaning on a wall is Kaoruko. After looking for a while she stops leaning and starts walking. The shot focuses on her face. She is smiling. Yosaru Katai Fubudo na Jinsei. In a shopping center, Hana is going down the escalators. Seinu mo nai daiju hai nikiju ga. On top of a building is Daichi observing the city. Anshin Budo ni Batsu Kosei. Sitting in an armchair in his living room, Best Jeanist is reading a book. Todoru Kyoku Boku ni Ibasho. In a park, Sensoji is blowing on his glasses to clean them, then he puts them on and smiles. Nado nai Kara. On top of a building at night is Endeavor, patrolling the city. Yumi no Hazama de Night Nide. The shot zooms in on Endeavor, who has a scowl on his face as the fire on his face moves violently. Donna Kao Serba I Ka Wakaru Dekido Mata. We return to Izuku on the train. When it enters a tunnel, sitting in front of Izuku, a person appears with totally black clothes and a white mask staring at him. Kodit Kur Yo. The snake that is still moving between Izuku's feet suddenly pounces on Izuku's face, opening its jaws to attack. Izuku wakes up surprised and fire emerges from his body. Yami wo harit Yami wo harit. Izuku runs on the falls and jumps to attack a villain. At the same time, Best Jeanist uses his quirk to trap said villain. Yuru no Tobari ga Oratera Ezu da. Endeavor, still on the roof of the building, attacks with a burst of fire which illuminates the dark sky. Itai Shite Mawaru. 2 hooded people, one carrying a large hammer in its arms, look forward. Kanjsen. 2 other hooded people are sitting around a table. Behind them are several people with snake masks. Zaragoto Nado wa Hakisuit Ike 2. People walk through the streets calmly. When people pass by, another hooded person appears who extends its arm, revealing a mouth in the palm of its hand. Mata Tamanide. Kaoruko creates several bubbles. Mata Tamanide. Aoki trains with her steel baton. Dare Yori mo Sadoku Urumaki ni Yumareshi Kono Shoudai wo Ima wa Tada Noroi. Hana runs while generating electricity in her hands. Daichi moves in the air using his jetpack. Emi smiles forward as Yukihiro adjusts his bandages. Sensoji creates 2 blasts in his hands. Yu starts growing. Renjiro is ready to fight while his fists are surrounded by fire. Izuku is in the park talking to a girl with white hair. Norwar at a Boku no Mirai wo Suzu Shite. A snake appears with its jaw open, biting someone. The scene changes to the white-haired girl smiling. The shot zooms out, revealing that she is accompanied by a boy with white and red hair. A white-haired boy is leaning behind a door. Endeavor appears again with a frown. Hashit Korand. Izuku is pushed by a gust of wind as fire surrounds him. Kanai Atami Daite wa. The scene changes and now Izuku is seen with his mother and younger sister. Sakai ga Mataru Kono Ishun wo. Izuku is now seen in his classroom with the rest of his classmates from UA Class 1A. Then everything goes dark and Izuku can be seen staring, with a frown, at the guy in the white mask. The guy draws a katana and attacks Izuku. Suddenly Izuku wakes up on the train confused, not noticing that a bit of fire on his shoulder goes out. Blaze of Glory. Izuku Midoriya's Fire Hero Chronicles. First test. 50 meters run. The one who dominated this test was Daichi, who used his gusts of air to push himself as fast as possible and achieve the best time of 3.20 seconds. Izuku had the third fastest time of 3.57 seconds. Second test. Grip Force. In this test, the one who obtained the best score was Emi, who, thanks to her mass expansion quirk, managed to obtain a score of 300 kilograms. Izuku achieved a score a little above normal, about 65 kilograms, since, even though his quirk does not help him much in this type of test, he managed to heat up the machine and thus managed to increase the pressure that the machine received. Third test. Standing long jump. In this test Daichi once again obtained the best score. Not only was he able to jump over the sandbox, but he also obtained the greatest jumping distance. Izuku scored the second best distance. Fourth test. Repeated side steps. In this test Izuku managed to last the longest, since by using his fire in his hands to simulate jumping he managed to avoid getting tired. Fifth test. Distance run. In this test Yu is the one who achieved the best score. As her size grew she managed to travel the greatest distance. The second best was Emi, who also grew in size but her speed was less than Yu's. Sixth test. Seated toe touch. In this test Kaoruko is the one who managed to last the longest thanks to her great agility and flexibility. This test was the one where Izuku did the worst. It's not that he did bad, but he wasn't one of the best either. He really needs to work on his flexibility. Seventh test. Sit-ups. In this test there was a tie between Izuku and Sensoji, who obtained the same number of sit-ups, with a total of 73 sit-ups done. 8th and last test. Ball throw. In this test Izuku did not participate as he had already did it, but he was surpassed. Yu increased her size and thanks to that she managed to throw the ball for more than a kilometer, 1203 meters, obtaining the best score, Emi being close second with 1163 meters. Other than that Sensoji was a close fourth only behind Izuku, Emi and Yu with 692 meters. And with this last test the quirk apprehension test concludes. Good job. I see that you all took my words seriously and tried your best, like good quality genes. Best Genist said. Now I will show you the results, please look at the hologram. Best Genist shows the results. 1. Daichi Suzuki. 2. Yu Takayama. 3. Izuku Midoriya. 4. Emi Aoki. 5. Sensoji Sakino. 6. Hana Yoshida. 7. Renjiro Takahashi. 8. Kaoruko Iwata. 9. Yukihiro Kato. 10. Aiko Honda. Third place. Not bad to start. Izuku thought. Even so, this test taught me where I have to improve. 5th place. That's unacceptable for someone as strong as me, Sensoji thought. Dude. 7th place. I need to improve. Renjiro thought. As I said before, this is not a competition. This test is to give you the opportunity to use your quirks in situations that were not allowed before. Best Genist said. This also helps you realize where you need to improve, like when you are designing genes, you always have to put them to the test to see what fails. Talking about genes is a bit strange, but I understand what he means, Izuku thought. Now with this we finish for today. In the classroom you will be able to find the agenda and other documents, important information that I recommend you read. Best Genist said. Today was a quiet day, tomorrow things start in earnest. Before Best Genist lets the rest of the class leave, Yu raises his hand. I have a question. It is not related to the test itself, but at the same time it is. Yu said. Go ahead. Best Genist said. I could notice that when I used my quirk the clothes grew with me. I usually need special clothes for that to happen. Yu asked. Why is that? That's very simple. Each one filled out your quirk form with all its specifications. UA used that information to make your uniforms, both for classes and gym. Best Genist said. While you were introducing yourself, I wrote down your seat number next to your name, and when we were at the introduction ceremony with the director, the person in charge of making the costumes placed your respective uniform on your respective desk. That explains why my uniform didn't burn with my fire, Izuku said. Exactly. Your uniforms were made individually for each of you, so that they can function alongside your quirks without creating awkward situations, Best Genist said. Yeah, if my uniform had not grown with me it would have been somewhat uncomfortable, Yu said. Thank goodness that situation could be avoided, Best Genist said. Now, if there are no more questions, you can leave. The school was over for the day and Izuku was ready to go home. Today was an interesting day, Izuku thought. Hakamata-sensei is a very good teacher, he helped me find my weak points. Hey, Izuku, wait, Renjiro said as he approaches Izuku. Are you going to the station? Let's go together. Sure. Izuku said. Cool. Renjiro said as they started walking to the station. Man, today was interesting, don't you think? Yes, I didn't expect the test on the first day, but I can see why Hakamata-sensei did it, Izuku said. You got third place. Man, that's great. Renjiro said. For my part, I came in seventh, kind of disappointing if you ask me. Don't say that, Izuku said. You can't always use your quirk in any situation. Besides, it wasn't a competition and now you know what you need to improve on. I guess you're right, Renjiro said. You too. Wait, it was Kaoruko heading towards them. Are you heading to the train station? You are the bubble girl, Renjiro said. Yes, we are going to the station. Do you want to come with us? It's Kaoruko Iwata and yes, let's go to the station. Kaoruko said. You are. I'm sorry, I don't remember your names. It's okay, we've only known each other for a day so it's normal that we still don't know each other's names. Izuku said. I'm Izuku Midoriya, a pleasure Kaoruko-san. Kaoruko, the girl said with surprise. Oh, I'm sorry, it's a bad habit of mine, I tend to call people by their first name out of instinct. Izuku said. Sorry Iwata-san. No, don't worry, you can call me by my first name, I was just a little surprised. Kaoruko said and then looked at Renjiro. And you are? Renjiro Takahashi. Renjiro said. Nice to meet you. The trio continues their way to the station, taking advantage of the time to get to know each other better. Well, I managed to make 2 friends on the first day, a good start without a doubt, Izuku thought. Midoriya household. I'm home, Izuku said as he entered his house. Izuku, you're back. How was your day? Inko asked. Brother, you have to tell me everything about UA, is it as incredible as they say? Izumi said. Much more incredible, Izuku said. Although you came back early today, right? Inko said. Aren't classes at UA in the hero department supposed to end until 6 p.m.? Yes, but since today was the first day, classes ended early. Izuku said. Starting tomorrow the schedule will be the official one. In that case come and sit down to eat something, Inko said. And of course, tell us everything. Thanks. Izuku said. Tell me, what are your classmates like? Inko asked. How are your teachers? Do I have a future daughter-in-law? Mom, Izuku said. My classmates are fine, I guess, I still don't know them completely, although I managed to make 2 friends, Renjiro Takahashi and Kaoruko Iwata. How nice, I'm glad you can make a friend on your first day. Inko said. By the way, Zumi, you won't believe who my teacher is, Izuki said to his sister. Who is it? Izumi asked. Best Genist himself, Izuku said. Oh my god, that's so cool, Izumi said and then took out a notebook out of nowhere. The notebook has the title of Hero Analysis for the future number 4. Oh, and what about your classmates' quirks? You do like quirks, don't you? Izuku said. Izumi just smiles to her brother. Alright, I'll tell you, but first let me eat something, okay, Izuku said. A new day has come, and Class 1A was having their morning lessons, right? They were having English classes with Majestic, a pro hero. English is the most spoken language in the world in general. It is very important that you learn it, especially if any of you have to support heroes from another country, Majestic said. Normal classes. Well, UA is still a school after all, Kaoruko thought. This is boring. When does the good stuff start? Sensoji thought. I'm not bad at English, but it doesn't hurt to review what I've learned, Izuku thought. After the morning lessons, in the afternoon, it is lunchtime. It is first-class food at low prices in the large dining room. White rice is one of the best foods in the world, said the chef who was the pro-hero lunch rush. Even though I've already known this before, it's still impressive, even the non-teaching staff are heroes, Izuku thought. It may be simple rice, but it's delicious, Renjiro said. I know, right? Kaoruko said. After finishing the lunch, it was the moment everyone was waiting for, the basic study for heroes. Hey, Izuku, Kaoruko. Renjiro called his friends. Who do you think our hero class teacher will be? I don't know. It can be anyone. Izuku said. What is certain is that he or she will be a hero. While everyone is talking, the classroom door opens and the teacher walks in, turning out to be Best Jeanist. Hakamata-sensei, Hana asked. What are you doing here? Aren't we supposed to have heroics class? That's exactly why I'm here. Best Jeanist said. Since we are short-staffed this year, some of us have more than one position. I am both your homeroom teacher as the heroics teacher of the hero course. Wow, you really are our best sensei, Izuku said. Did you understand? Best sensei. The class remains quiet until Best Jeanist speaks. I like the way it sounds, so I'll allow you to call me that. Best sensei. Best sensei. The class began to cheer. Now that we're done with that, Best Jeanist said, it's time for our first hero class exercise battle training. Finally, Sensoji said, all right. Renjiro said. So quickly do we start the battles, Kaoruko said. Shouldn't we do something simpler the first time? Aiko asked. Don't worry, it's battle training but it won't be complicated at all. With these combat training you will learn the basics as well as being able to put it into practice. Best Jeanist said. And, of course, with that, we also have these. Best Jeanist pushed a button and from the wall a lot of briefcases emerged. Ordered according to the report of your quirks and the application you sent before entering the school, here are your hero costumes, he said. Seeing the costumes everyone gets excited. Finally. I've been waiting so I can put on my costume, you said. I hope mine comes just as I ordered, Daichi said. I still can't believe I'll have a hero suit so early in UA, Aiko said. Finally, what I came to UA for, Sensoji said. My hero suit. This is going to be great, Izuku thought. I hope it comes with the design and functionality specifications I requested. I can see that you are all excited. But remember that the hero suit should be a part of you, both as an identity and as a tool to help you in your work. Best Jeanist said. Indeed, it is important to look good in a hero costume, since both your popularity and the way the public perceives you depend on it, but it should also serve to overshadow your weaknesses and strengthen your virtues, like the perfect genes. Everyone stands up and grabs their respective briefcase. When you've changed your clothes, gather at the Gamma Training Ground, Best Jeanist said. Gamma Training Ground. You are all here for a reason, Best Johnny's said as everyone stepped in the room, dressed in their respective hero costumes. Now the moment has come that all of you have been waiting for, it's time to be heroes. To be continue. I hope you enjoyed this story. Also remember to subscribe and like this video. See you in the next video.